Using exam login to take an assessment. Start by clicking on exam login, and then you can put in your code that your teacher gives you. Hit find, and then put in your ID number. Hit find. It will say if there's any instructions and if it's a timed test or not. Hit start. Notice the time up in the corner, and then if there's a passage, it'll have the passage on the side. You can choose which ones you want. So who spoke these words? You can say, I'm not sure, but I know Daisy didn't. So you can get rid of that option. Then you can flag it and come back to it later, or you can answer it. Then you hit next. Who is the narrator of The Great Gatsby? If you have no idea, you can flag it, hit next. The narrator employs the phrase, one of those men, in the second paragraph in order to, you're like, I have no clue, but I know it's not that one or that one. Wait, maybe it is that one. You can bring it back. And then you can answer it with your best guess. Hit next. It says, please review all the questions before continuing. Number 2 is still flagged. So you can take the flag off and say, narrator, oh yeah, that's Nick. Hit next. Next. Do you want to go back and review, or are you really finished? I am really finished. And then if your teacher has it turned on, you'll be able to see if you got questions right or wrong. You can always go to that question. If the question was wrong, if you had chosen Gatsby, for example, it would be red and it would show you the correct answer if your teacher lets you to have that. You can also check and see how you did on any standards, whether you mastered it or not. When you're done, hit log out. Now if you tried to go back in under the same ID, you can't take the test again. Instead, it will just take you to your score sheet. The second type that you can do is after you get the code from your teacher, you may have an assessment that you enter the same way as normal. And this assessment could be one where instead of having the questions on the actual test, you have bubbles on one side and you have a PDF of the assessment next to it. So as you can see, there's bubbles that are on the one side, on the right side, and then the test that's on the left side. You can change the zoom. You can go back and forth on the test by scrolling. When you're ready to answer, if you scroll down to the lower questions, the test will follow you. Just like the last type of assessment, you can always decide to select the answer or to delete some of the possibilities, or you can add one back in. You can read it and say, I'm not sure, I think that's the answer, or maybe it is D. When you finish, you hit finished and you select I am really finished. Notice if you miss questions, it will tell you, and then it will give you your final score. The final type of test that you can take on Mastery Manager is one where your teacher will give you a paper copy of the test and you just fill out the bubble sheets on the side. Again, you put in the code the teacher gives you and then put in your 6-digit ID number. Hit find. Notice this one does not give you any instructions. Some may not. Start. And all it is a bubble sheet. This is one where the teacher has not allowed you to flag any or to cross out answers, because you can do that on the paper next to it. Once you finish taking all the questions, you hit finished. I'm really finished. And then it just says you've completed the assessment. It doesn't say if you have answers or not. Remember, if you have any questions about how to use Exam Login to take tests, please talk to your teacher or to your technology department.